I'm going to share with you a big productivity hack. If you're a single dad and you have joint custody with your kids, then this is what you want to listen to. Now, my name is Jesse, and I'm a freelancer. I have several clients. I don't like to hold a lot of clients, really. And the reason why is because I got enough things to do. So along with the kids, the business, personal life, it gets busy. So I totally understand where you're coming from. Sometimes it feels like there is not enough time in the day because there isn't enough time in the day sometimes, especially when you have that custody time with your kids because you are a cook, you're sometimes a maid, you got to get them ready, you got to plan ahead, they have events that they go into, lots of other things are going on at once. So I'm going to share with you 3 productivity hacks that I use myself that I've been working on, and that helps me basically make get a lot of things done in as little time as possible. Now, number one thing, my mentor, Sam Ovens, once told me, automate the things that you do every single day. So the things that happen every single day are the things that I tend to kind of automate and have a list of things ready to go. So for example, getting the kids ready in the morning. I have a schedule of what I'm going to feed them for lunch. I have to pack one of my kids' lunch. And I know exactly what I'm going to make him for a week in advance. I know exactly what he's going to get, what exactly I need to put in, and what I need to work on. And so I know exactly what time that needs to occur. I know I need to put his lunch together at night. So having a set schedule for the things that you do on a regular basis is key. Now, with that being said, you also have to get up early in the morning, especially on the days that you have the shared custody with the kids. I know this is not good advice, maybe not advice you want to listen to, but guess what? I've been getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, especially the days I have my kids. And guess what? I get so much stuff done before they get up in the morning. By the time I get them up in the morning, I get them ready. I help them get ready because, sometimes they don't do it on their own. I get them up. I make sure that their teeth are brushed and make sure they're breakfast and make sure I get everything ready, backpacks, whatever. By the time they get in the car, I already have accomplished so much, and I'm less stressed. And that's the number one thing. I feel less stressed that I've already got done a lot of stuff done beforehand. And at night, what I tend to do is I tend to kind of make a list of what I need to do the day afterwards. That's not consistent, but what's most consistent is me getting up early in the morning and getting stuff done. That's probably the most consistent thing, and that's helped a ton. Now, number 2, organization. So this is especially if you are a freelancer, you want to pay attention to this very, very much, is organizing your Slack channel. This has been a game changer for me. In fact, one of my clients actually has done this, which is how I learned from, where I learned this from. So here's what I do, is for all my clients, I have 2 types of communication, one internal and one external. And I have folders for every single one of my clients, all internal. So I have a small team that kind of work with me. Even though I'm a freelancer, I still have a small team that still kind of works with me. And for every one of my clients, I hold a folder for. And that way, everyone can see visibility on what needs to get done. One of the people on my team is a project manager. Now, I'm typically not really good at project management, so that's why I tend to outsource the things I'm not really good at. Project management is one of them. And so what I do is I post everything, I make my team post everything that needs to get done in those particular channels per client. And my project manager goes and takes it up and puts it in Asana, and he goes ahead and signs it. A lot of stuff to me and to other people, and so I know exactly what needs to get done at a particular time. So, and then also external channels too. And so any external communication channels. So instead of having multiple Slack channels, and I know you guys have this, if you're listening to this, I know you're one of those people that have an internal, like dozens maybe of internal, of external chat, Slack channels. Have it all internal into your Slack account. And you just have external, you just have external channels inside of your own Slack. That way you can manage everything all at once. Because for me, it was too much having to go through and double check which channel goes into which, and this one goes into this, and it's just it's hard. But I get it. Some clients are really particular with it. But in this case, if you can figure it out and you could negotiate something like this, it will save you a ton of time. And it might be something you could even tell them. Hey, look, this is how I run things, and this is how I keep a communication going. And we can create multiple channels if we need to, but it could all be inside of your own Slack. So that's very, very important. Now, number 3 is something you probably haven't heard of here. Number 3 is probably something you have heard of, but this is a little bit a different way of how to approach it. So hiring the person who is literal opposite of you. Now, I am not much of an operations person myself. I flail when it comes to operations because reading small little minute details just bores me to death. So what I do is I hire someone who is the literal opposite of me. Now, how do you find that individual? That is very, very key. So I use a company called Crystal Knows. And inside Crystal Knows, they have 16 different types of personalities, and you can identify which personality that you are. And in fact, they have a whole diagram there set. You could figure out which personality that you are. And what you want to do is when you're trying to hire someone, whoever's the opposite. For me, it was that project manager because that is the opposite person for me. I want to find out where they are. And for them, they need to be an operator. And so I am looking for operators. And how do you find operators? And so the problem is you can't just ask them, hey, are you an operator? They don't know, or they're just going to tell you whatever. But so you have them take the Crystal Knows personality test. And with that test, they'll tell you exactly who they are and then what type of personality they are. And if they match you. For example, I had one guy who was a project manager, and in that project, and I was going to hire him as a project manager because he had everything that he needed, but his personality was too aligned with mine. Now, that was one of the reasons why I didn't hire him. There's a couple of reasons afterwards, but one of the reasons that stuck out, his personality was too aligned with mine. Now, if I were to give him a task, he would probably think the same way I thought, or very similar, and things just wouldn't get done. And so I ended up hiring someone who was very operational focused, and in their personality, it showed something that was hyper operational as well. And I'll tell you, it's been a complete night and day of someone who you're hiring and someone who you're hiring for the right person for the right reason. So have them take a personality test. Don't be shy about it. Say, hey, look, I want to know more about you. If you want, can you please take this? Before our interview, that would help me a ton getting to know you better. That way, we could talk about this on the interview. So that's number one. Now I'm going to give you a special fourth bonus. And again, something you've heard of before, but I'm going to give you a different spin on this. Now, fourth one is hiring. Again, so you want to hire the person who's opposite of you, but you also want to hire for your personal things, right? Whoever's the opposite of you as well. So I'll give you an example. For me, I love to cook, but I hate folding clothes. I don't mind doing the laundry, like doing the washing, but the folding, I hate it with just a total utter passion. Also, dishes also another thing I hate as well. Now, what I end up doing was taking the same concept of hiring your opposite. I end up hiring the opposite for me just around the house. So I'll do the cooking. I'll do some cleaning too, of course, because you have to do a little bit of cleaning. But I end up hiring someone who can fold my clothes after I do the laundry. I hired someone who could clean up around the house, and they come in once a week. Now this has been a huge productivity hack because think of it this way: if you're a freelancer, or if you're getting paid a certain dollar per hour, right, and you could hire someone, for example, at half that rate, or even a quarter of whatever rate that you get paid. So, for example, let's say you get paid $50 an hour. You hire someone at $25 an hour, right? You've now doubled your time, right? Because it takes time for you to set things up. You have to fold clothes, clean, do whatever, right? You've essentially just increased and doubled your time for half the price. And so that means you can continue being productive and doing the things you want to do. Now the thing also is you have to also be productive when they're around. So like when my cleaner is here, she's here once a week. I'm here working. I'm creating content. I'm managing clients. I'm trying to find new clients. So it's like I'm doing things that are that have some sort of production value that's worth my time. So that's the only way it's going to be productive. Otherwise, you might as well just go do the thing that you don't like doing because you're not going to make the most out of it anyways. So that is the fourth secret kind of productivity hack that I have. And again, it only works if you hire for what you don't like to do. So if you don't like to cook, maybe hire someone that can cook maybe once a week, and they'll save you a little bit of time. And again, if you are a single dad, maybe only do it for the days that you have the kids, because that'll save you a ton. So for example, I don't mind making lunches. I actually enjoy doing lunches, but if I hated it, I probably would hire someone to do lunches. And as far as coming in for clothes, I hire that person to come in the day after my custody ends with my kids. So when my day ends with my custody kids, they show up and they help clean everything up. They help organize the kitchen. They help organize the bathroom. They help organize, throw trash away, do all the stuff. And so it's nice and fresh and clean by the time the kids are gone. And so it's almost a reset every single week that happens. So anyway, so that's a production tip. So I hope this serves you well. Again, if you're a single dad out there and you have joint custody with the kids, I get it. could be the most challenging things, but also could be the most rewarding things. If at the end of the day, if it were up to me, heck, I'd spend all day with my kids because I just enjoy spending time with them. But unfortunately, I can't. So at least not yet. But until then, I'm going to figure out how to be the most productive as possible as I can be. So when I do have time with my kids, I can figure out how to spend as much time with them as I possibly can. So anyways, I hope those tips help for you. If you happen to like this, please like, subscribe, comment. That would help me a ton. I would love to hear about you, your experiences, your journey as well. So put in the comments. I'll be sure to 100% answer any single comment that comes in here, assuming it's not a spam comment, of course. And I'd love to hear more about your journey. So anyways, I'll talk to you soon, and thank you so much for listening.